Namaste and welcome to the PGurus YouTube channel. I'm your host Sree Narasimhan and we are here at the World Hindu Congress in Bangkok, Thailand. And we have a very special guest today. We have Sankrant Sanu ji is here. Thank you for your time, Sankrant Sanu ji, and welcome to PGurus. You have a new initiative that you're running called Garuda Prakashan. Please tell us a little bit more about Garuda.
So we started Garuda as book publisher because I found that there is not enough publishing houses that were allowing us to say our own stories. And for a civilization to survive, it's very important that we are able to tell our own stories in our own terms, in our own words. So this is how Garuda Prakashan was started. And we produced a number of bestseller books. One of our initial success stories was this book, Urban Nexus. This is the one that created the term Urban Nexus. Is a book written by our author 𝗣𝗚𝗂𝗍𝗍. And we produced a number of books after that. We have a recent book from Rajiv Malhotra's team and Rajiv Malhotra editing it called The 10 Heads of Ravana. We published The Imperishable Seed, Sanjay Dikshit's Unbreaking India, and a number of his other books. A new book from him, which is All Religions Are Not the Same. So a number of books have been published, and now we are actually expanding. From one of the stories that happened was we published this book, Delhi Riots 2020, and we ended up doing that because it was being published by a very big publishing house, multinational publishing house, and at the last moment, really because of a call from London, they dropped the book and they decided not to publish it, even though it was ready, it was fact-checked, it was all approved, it was typeset, everything was ready to go. And so a number of people came to us, say Garuda should be publishing it, and we did publish it. So the surprising thing was that we sold, let's say, 15,000 copies from our website. But even when we put it on Amazon, even Amazon blocked the sale of it in the initial days. So we were very determined that we need an ecosystem which is from top down, which supports us. So we decided to launch an e-commerce site, which is based on Indic values and dharma-based e-commerce site. And so we are expanding Garuda into a full-fledged e-commerce marketplace where dharmic businesses can connect into the marketplace and consumers can use their spending power to actually buy from businesses that will support dharma rather than feeding the crocodiles of a big Brazilian river,
The snakes in the Ganga.
Yeah, exactly.
Crocodiles. Why malign the poor animals? So Sankrant ji, you've been active on Twitter
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
And you call a spade there.
Yes.
Do you see any difference since Elon has taken over Twitter?
I think there is a little bit of difference. There's definitely difference in terms of some of the accounts that were banned getting unbanned. I think that is a positive step. Personally, I found, definitely since Elon has taken over, there has been a change. There has been a change where the alternative viewpoint is not completely banned and completely deplatformed. So I think there is a positive change there. More voices are coming up. For me personally, in my account, I still feel there's a shadow ban. My reach has been affected. So we are hoping that Elon continues to make changes, and we have to keep creating and investing in our own platforms at the same time.
See, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
Everybody greases the squeaky wheel and all those cliches that you can think of, right? And you have to have your voice heard. You have to be an activist.
Yes.
And Sankrant ji, you actually have seen you move from just commenting
Yes.
to now into activism, and you're building a publication house.
Yes,
for
definitely.
activism.
Definitely. One of the things I decided was that, we need to build institutions and platforms. A lot of the times, one of our challenges has been that Hindus have done a lot of individual effort, but we haven't built lasting institutions. If you look at, some of what the other people are doing, they have institutions that last much more than any person. And those institutions carry out a legacy. And it's very important for us. And this has happened even with our gurus. You have a guru who's very charismatic, and then when they go away, the institution collapses. So having and building long-lasting institutions is very important. This is one of the reasons we also started Garuda, which is our goal is to showcase those voices, to platform the voices. And this is the same thing we want to do with the Garuda Marketplace, which is to showcase and platform innovative businesses, innovative ideas, where they can focus on building cool products and important products which are natural, which are organic, which support a dharmic lifestyle. At the same time, we can take over some of the marketing and distribution and get it.
The call for Atmanirbhar has been heard in across many spaces, many industries, across many levels. But one of the first ones that we need to get back is the printing press from Gutenberg. We got to get that back, and our ancient rishis relied on Shruti and Smriti. In this modern age, we have to take back the digital publishing rights that we kind of sometimes lose to other fact checkers, right? And what's a fact? It depends upon your perspective these days. And Sankrant is fighting is the early frontline warriors in rolling back the so-called narratives of Hindu, basically anti-Hindu activity.
I think one of the really important fights actually is this narrative war. If you look at it, even if you look at, the Israel-Palestine conflict that is happening, so much of the battle is being fought as part of the narrative war. I would say great credit to Palestine and the Islamic ecosystem in terms of how many people they've convinced of the narrative, how many people across the world, they've got thousands and thousands of people marching for the Palestine cause. Why aren't thousands marching for Baloch people that are being oppressed by Pakistan, or for Uyghur Muslims, or for Yazidis, right? So they have managed to win the narrative war in a way. And in fact, the same thing will happen, we saw so many times like Delhi riots 2020, you can even have Hindus being slaughtered, but the narrative is saying Hindus are the aggressors, they are the ones that are rioting, they are the ones who are doing this. So you really have to realize that one of the most important modern battlefields is this battle of perception and a battle of narratives. And for us, for the opposing forces, they don't care if they use falsehood in the narrative war because their point is to win the narrative. And for us, the irony,
handcuffed by truth, right?
Well, it's not even handcuffed. The irony is we have truth on our side and we're still not able to put it forward. So we don't even have to. We can use truth as a strength. It is so powerful, and that's some of the work we've been doing with Garuda. We brought out this book called The Imperishable Seed, which traces the history of mathematics, written by an IIT Kanpur PhD, 𝗤𝗂𝘁𝗄𝑚, which says, all of the arithmetic we do in school, multiplication, division, all of those operations that we do, algebra, trigonometry, calculus, all of this came from India. But we don't know this. And the narrative is that we got science and mathematics and technology from abroad, and we need that for progress. You'd be surprised we're actually converted by science more than we are converted by Christianity, because internalized the idea of European superiority because of science and mathematics, which is not true. Most of the foundational ideas came from India. So we need to reclaim that narrative.
Yeah, so much so, Sankrantji, the younger generation, as a meme, right? When the older generation starts talking about Indian contribution, Bharatiya contribution, they start rolling their eyes. They're like, here goes, we invented zero and all of that. But it's a fact. The effective narrative has been such that truth is now met with rolling eyes.
Exactly.
And that's what we are trying to roll it back again and reclaim our lost heritage, really.
Yeah, that is why we have, we have to be rooted in good foundation of scholarship. As this book I was mentioning, we've gone back to the original text. We've replicated, for instance, the author came to me and said, we did algebra. I said, no, don't tell me that. Show me how we did equations. Give me a facsimile of how we did the equation. Give me a copy of what the manuscript looked like. How did we write the equation? How did we do the calculation? So we are going back, we're looking at that. And if you revisit it, the truth becomes so obvious. I asked somebody who said, okay, what do you mean we invented the arithmetic operations? I said, write a number in Roman numerals, write 3,567 in Roman numerals. Now square it, multiply it by itself. Can you do it in Roman numerals? How would you even do it? How would you write a number like that and multiply it in Roman numerals? You cannot. There is no system, there is no algorithm for multiplication in Roman numerals. So it was not just the zero. From zero, we created the place value notation, which was the decimal system. And then we created algorithmic arithmetic, so you could do operations using a system, which they never had. So no science was possible. No mathematics was possible. All of this came, and all of this was set forth by India. And this is something which is very substantiated. It's not talking out of the head or talking out of
This is such a vast and interesting field. Folks, do take a look at Garuda Prakashan,
Garuda Books.
Garuda Book.
Books.com.
Books.com. And follow Sankrantji on Twitter, and we'll have all the more information in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. to PGurus. Meanwhile, Sankrantji, any closing thoughts?
So I think it's very important that we collaborate. It's very important that we support each other's platforms. Sometimes we get into silos. It's very important. You're doing good work. It's my responsibility, it's my dharma to support what PGurus is doing. Similarly, look at initiatives. If somebody wants to collaborate with us on e-commerce, please send your ideas. We are building an e-commerce platform where everybody can plug in their product. You can go to contact@garudabooks.com or meet me on Twitter @Sankrant, and we hope to build the dharmic ecosystem together.
Thank you. Namaste.